Hello, I'm Henry Keane and we are UATV. We are online today, no matter what, as usual, to give you the Ukrainian perspective of reality, that is of war. Watch in the episode. 17 Patriot systems and more military aid worth billions of dollars confirmed by Trump. Trump gives Putin 50 days to seal a deal, or tariffs and sanctions will hit him hard and everyone who backs him. France doubles its military budget. Please don't shy out to comment and subscribe to our channel while watching it. By doing so, you help us to fight off criminal Russian aggression. Welcome to the News Pulse. It finally happened. Ukraine will receive 17 Patriot systems and everything it needs from its partners in the coming days to defend itself against Russian aggression. This was announced by United States President Donald Trump at a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. As noted by the head of the White House, the military aid package worth billions of dollars. The North Atlantic Bloc will coordinate deliveries. The equipment will appear on the battlefield in the nearest future in Ukraine. Trump emphasized that some Patriots for Ukraine are ready for shipment already as of now.
But we make the best, and we're going to be sending the best to NATO, and in some cases to maybe, at Mark's suggestion, if we go to Germany, where they're going to send early on missiles. Yeah. And they'll be replaced, and NATO is going to take care of it. It's going to be coordinated by NATO, and they're going to work very much with Matt Whitaker, who's right here, who's a great ambassador, and Matt's going to be coordinated. You better do a good job, Matt.
Donald Trump's top priority is to end Russia's war against Ukraine and resolve the situation through diplomacy. This was stated by U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio during a meeting with the foreign ministers of Britain, Germany and France. Earlier, Mr. Trump gave Russian Federation extra 50 days. 50 days to reach a peace agreement and a ceasefire. Otherwise, the Kremlin dictator would have to face 100% tariffs, as Trump feels frustrated waiting for a peace deal for 2 months in a row by now. Germany, Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and the Netherlands and Canada want to participate in rearming Ukraine. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte stated that in Washington during a meeting with the US President. He also confirmed that the alliance will pay for the weapons supplied to Kyiv.
So what we will do is work through the NATO systems to make sure that we know what Ukrainians need, so that we can make packages. Of course, in a way, we discussed it this morning with Pete Hegseth, at the Pentagon, in a way that, of course, the US will keep on its stockpiles necessary to defend this country. That's absolutely clear. But it will mean that Ukraine can get its hands on really massive numbers of military equipment, both for air defense, but also missiles, ammunition, etc., etc.
Sweden will continue to make a significant contribution to military aid supplies to Ukraine, said Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson. According to him, Ukraine's allies need to unite now to force Russia to end the war.
I welcome President Trump's important decision to make it possible to deliver more advanced weapons to Ukraine and to significantly increase the economic pressure on Russia. As one of the biggest donors to Ukraine and together with our NATO allies, Sweden will continue to contribute to swift and substantial deliveries to Ukraine. Ulf Kristersson, Prime Minister of Sweden, on X social network.
And also, Germany plans to support Ukraine with 2 additional Patriot systems. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius announced he recently arrived in Washington to discuss further support for Kyiv. According to Pistorius, the decision on the 2 additional Patriot systems purchased by Germany for Ukraine will be made shortly.
Germany could buy 2 Patriot systems from the Americans and deliver them directly to Ukraine. Given our situation with the supply and maintenance of Patriots, we cannot transfer another system, but we are ready to buy 2 due to the need for more systems in Ukraine. We should not have any illusions. The Patriot system must be delivered to Ukraine, and it will be delivered in a few months. So now we are talking about days, maybe weeks before a decision is made, but it will happen very quickly.
President Donald Trump expressed his dissatisfaction with Russia again and stated he is giving Putin 50 days to reach a peace agreement. Otherwise, he promised to impose tough sanctions, including a 100% tariff this time, covering all Moscow's trade partners just as well. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte responded to that 50 days deadline for Russia.
So if I was Vladimir Putin today and hear you speaking about what you were planning to do in 50 days and this announcement, I would reconsider whether I should not take negotiations about Ukraine more seriously than I was doing at the moment.
50 days is too long, especially when each day brings new civilian casualties, said the European Union's chief diplomat Kaja Kallas in response to President Trump's ultimatum to Russia. She reminded that every day of delay means more destruction, more innocent lives lost, more suffering and pain for Ukrainians. At the same time, Kallas acknowledged that Trump's tough stance these days on Russia is a very positive signal. The European Union hopes Washington will strengthen sanctions against Russia after the US announced additional military aid to Ukraine via NATO yesterday. EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Kaja Kallas said this today ahead of the EU Foreign Affairs Council meeting.
Be good if with all those promises that also the Biden administration has given to Ukraine, I mean the weapon deliveries will continue and they will get all what they have been promised, and of course we on our European side we want to do more. It is also, I mean, good signs that we see from United States that they have also realized that Russia does not really want peace. So in order to have peace we need to support Ukraine and we need to put the pressure on Russia. And I also hope that Americans will move also with their sanctions package or tariffs so that the pressure is on Russia to really stop this war.
Also, the 18th sanctions package against Russia may be adopted today or tomorrow, EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Kaja Kallas said ahead of the EU Foreign Affairs Council meeting in Brussels. Worth noting, the new measures are expected to contain price caps on Russian oil.
We are hoping that it's either today or tomorrow that we adopt the 18th package of sanctions. So I hope it's today, but it's still some work to do. And well, we hope to have good cooperation with the new government of Ukraine, like we have had with the previous one. No, I mean this. We are working on this oil price cap. It's alive, so hopefully we'll get an agreement now. Like I said to you before, even if the Americans are not aboard, but the other G7 countries are on board, then we will move on with this.
In the coming days, Ukraine will receive record arms shipments and face a turning point in the war with Russia, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham said on CBS News. The US politician emphasized that President Trump had spent months trying to persuade Putin to negotiate, but the Kremlin leader is simply playing him. The senator also stated the fact the Russian dictator is a thug who understands only the language of force and only tougher sanctions can bring him to his senses as negotiating table as well.
He, Donald Trump, can dial it up or down. He can go to 0% or to 500%. He has maximum flexibility. But we are going after the people who keep Putin in business and additional sanctions on Russia itself. This is truly a sledgehammer available to President Trump to end this war. Lindsey Graham, Republican senator, speaking on CBS News.
Ukraine will receive billions of dollars in military aid, US President Donald Trump announced. He clarified that this is part of an agreement between Washington and NATO, meaning the military equipment will be purchased from the United States, then supplied to the alliance and quickly distributed on the battlefield in Ukraine. Ukraine will get it, Trump emphasized.
I've been hearing so much talk. It's all talk. It's all talk, and then missiles go into Kiev and kill 60 people. It's got to stop. That's got to stop. But the purpose of this is to say that this is a very big deal we've made. This is billions of dollars worth of military equipment is going to be purchased from the United States, going to NATO, etc. And that's going to be quickly distributed to the battlefield.
Against the backdrop of a growing threat from Moscow, European countries are strengthening their defenses. Estonia is constructing an autonomous vessel to patrol the border with Russia. Switzerland, despite its neutral status, is seeking to join the EU's large-scale defensive initiative Rearm Europe. And France is preparing for a record double increase in its military budget up to 64 billion euros. More details for you by Nikita Skoblikov.
French President Emmanuel Macron is calling for increased defence spending amid the threat posed by Russia. According to him, the budget should increase by 3.5 billion euros in 2026 and by another 3 billion in 2027. As a result, France's defence budget will reach 64 billion euros. Macron emphasised that Europe's freedom is under threat like never before since World War II. In his speech, he condemned imperialist policies, annexation ambitions, and the rule of the strong, alluding to actions taken by the Kremlin.
Have a look again at the acceleration of events in recent months. The bombing on Iran, the fighting between India and Pakistan with arguably one of the most intense air battles in recent decades, the ups and downs in American support for Ukraine, and the trade war between allies in this same context. Yes, we are witnessing the return of the nuclear phenomenon, the proliferation of major conflicts, and basically, let's be simple. To be free in this world, you must be feared. To be feared, you must be powerful. For this, the nation must be stronger, because it is up to the nation, above all, to defend the nation. Emmanuel Macron, President of France.
France is not the only country feeling threatened by Moscow. Estonia plans to strengthen protection of its maritime borders by developing an autonomous robotic vessel. According to the national broadcasting company, police and border services intend to use it for patrolling the eastern border with Russia, much of which runs along rivers. The project is funded by the European Union, with over 1 million euros allocated. A public tender for the design and construction of the vessel is expected to be announced soon.
The robot vessel could be operational within 2 years, and while it would be equipped with surveillance systems, there is scope both for the use of artificial intelligence, AI, and for the vessel to be armed. From ERR website.
Even neutral Switzerland refuses to stand aside in the face of the Russian threat. Local media report that Bern is considering joining the large-scale European Union defence initiative Rearm Europe, valued at 800 billion euros. These funds are intended to rearm EU countries, with 150 billion euros allocated as loans for joint weapons procurement. The Swiss Federal Council is interested in strengthening its partnership with the EU in security and defence. This would in particular allow Swiss companies to participate in projects financed by the European programme.
We will only achieve greater security if we truly work together with Europe. We must cooperate with the EU and, above all, conduct joint defence procurements. Priska Seiler-Graf, chair of the Security Committee of the Swiss National Council, in an interview with SRF.
In addition to investing in its own defence, Kyiv is calling on European countries to invest in Ukraine's military-industrial complex. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha emphasized that this is primarily an investment in the security of all Europe. By doing so, the Russian army can be contained now on Ukrainian territory. Speaking at the Dubrovnik Forum in Croatia, Sybiha added that Ukrainian diplomacy continues efforts to attract foreign investment into the country's defense industry.
We have huge potential, and it will be also contribution. It is an investment in future our common security. We are contributor of security now, Ukraine, having daily combat experience, having such an advanced defense industries. So we are interested in ending this war and to contribute in restoration world order based on international law.
Joint defence projects between Ukraine and the European Union are already underway. At a conference on Ukraine's recovery in Rome, Kyiv and the EU announced the launch of the BraveTech EU initiative. According to Ukraine's Ministry of Digital Transformation, the project aims to mobilize 100 million euros to develop technological solutions capable of fundamentally impacting the course of the war. Reported by Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.
That was it for today. My name is Henry Keane and we are News Pulse at UATV. We thank you so very much indeed, sincerely, for your time and attention. We appreciate it. Thank you. Please join our fight for freedom and sovereignty by subscribing and commenting. Your voice helps Ukrainian voice to be heard worldwide. Hope to see you soon. Stay tuned and goodbye.